Good morning, Voyageurs Expeditionary School. I'm your host, Riley, and you are watching Mythical Morning News, the news you love and trust more than life itself. Coming up this morning on Mythical Morning News, we'll be hearing from Cam on the importance of drinking water. Dakota will talk about the dangers of smoking, and we'll have Val discuss art and how it can help. But first, let's head over to George with nostalgic nonsense. Take it away, George.
Thank you, Riley. How's it going? What do you think of when somebody mentions tracksuits, boomboxes, and cardboard laid out on the ground? If you're a Run DMC fan or anyone over 40, you probably thought about breakdancing. How about Pink Donuts, Duff Beer, and Mr. Burns? You're probably thinking about The Simpsons. Now think about G.I. Joes, Nerf guns, and Transformers. I used to have Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Doesn't that take you back? For our generation, you may think about Transformers, Avril Lavigne, and early computer games like the original Doom or Pop Tropica. Today we're going to talk about nostalgia. What does it mean to be nostalgic? When I googled the term, it said nostalgia is a sentimental longing for the past. This is something I hear about often. Nostalgia and the factors behind it. Why do we get so nostalgic? Is it something used to cope with growing up? Were the good old days really so great? What does it say about us that we like to look back so much? For some, the good old days were a simpler time when you were unaware of the things going around you at the time, like being able to play outside for hours, watching Ren and Stimpy while eating Lucky Charms. For others, the early years weren't so great. They had the misfortune of a bad childhood. Do they ever feel nostalgic? As for me, I'm a very nostalgic person. I miss being able to play outside, being unaware of the dangers in the world. I miss seeing the world through a child's eyes. So what now? Do you look back fondly on the past? Are you more interested in the future? What about the present? Just some thoughts from me this morning, looking back and looking forward. This has been Nostalgic Nonsense with George. I will see you again. Giggle up in Miniwa. Back to you, Riley.
Thanks, George. I know I miss the old days from time to time. And now we have Dakota discussing smoking and why you should avoid it. Over to you, Dakota.
Thanks, Riley. Hello. Do you smoke? Does anyone you love struggle with this addiction? Smoking can relieve stress, anxiety, and do a number of things for the smoker, but there are a lot of downfalls too. Today I would like to go over the top 4 reasons smoking negatively affects your life. Number 1, smoke smell. What do you usually think when you hear the word smoker? The second-hand risk, the way they act or smell. Smokers are commonly self-conscious about the smell of smoke on their clothes and their hair. The smell on their breath is one thing people most frown upon. For some, smelling like cigarette smoke can get in the way of getting a job or even getting a date. Someone you really like may turn you down just because they have negative opinion about smoking. Number 2, impact on physical activity. Many smokers say the ability to complete simple tasks such as climbing a set of stairs or taking part in sports becomes a struggle, which can lead to weight gain and diminishing internal health. Did you know there are over 11 cancers you can get from smoking? To name a few, you could get cancer of the lungs, mouth, and sinuses. Number 3, cost. It is so important that you know that the downright expensive smoking is just going to make your life a living hell. The price of cigarettes is around $8. If you smoke a pack a day, after 1 month, a smoker can spend up to $248 and over $2,200 a year. People who choose to spend that kind of money on smoking are only hurting themselves. I think it's really a bad idea. If you don't have that money when you really need it, you'll wish you hadn't sent that money up in smoke. Number 4, addiction. Addiction is something that takes over your life. For an addict, filling the urge is something that becomes more important than taking care of themselves or loved ones. For some, the craving is so bad they will beg friends and family for money just to take the edge off. So if you or someone you love has a smoking problem, there is an alternative: vaping. Vaping is a healthier, cleaner, and less odorant way to satisfy the craving, and vaping is also a way to quit smoking. So throw down that cigarette and vape. I'm Dakota, and this has been Top 4 Reasons Smoking Can Affect Your Life. Thank you. Back to you, Riley.
Thanks, Dakota. And now let's head over to Cam for a discussion on why you should be drinking more water. Cam?
Hello everyone, my name is Cam. I have a question for everyone watching. How much water do you drink in one day? Probably not enough. How much water do you think you should be drinking? Well, that's a simple question with no easy answer. No single number is right or wrong for everyone, but the recommended amount of water from the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine for the average adult is about 10 glasses a day. Today I'll be giving you 4 reasons why everyone should drink at least 10 glasses of water a day. Reason number 1. Water is your body's principal chemical component and makes up about 60% of your body weight. Your body depends on water to survive. Every cell, tissue, and organ in your body needs water to work properly. It aids your body in digestion processes and keeps your temperature normal. Reason number 2. Drinking lots of water can boost your energy. Lack of water can lead to dehydration, a condition that occurs when you don't have enough water in your body to carry out normal functions. Even mild dehydration can drain your energy and make you tired. Reason number 3. Drinking water helps clear your skin of blemishes and acne. Certain toxins in the body can cause the skin to inflame, which results in clogged pores and acne. Drinking water helps flush these toxins out and prevents future breakouts. Reason number 4. And lastly, it can be a brain booster. A study in London found a link between students bringing water into an exam room and better grades, suggesting H2O promotes clearer thinking. So make sure to keep your water bottle with you in the classroom for extra brain power. My name is Cam, and these are 4 reasons why everyone should drink at least 10 glasses of water a day. Back to you, Riley.
Miigwech, Cam. Some really good information for us there. Now, let's hear from our very own Val with a talk about art. Over to you, Val. Miigwech, Cam. Some really good information for us there. Now, let's hear from our very own Val with a talk about art. Over to you, Val.
Thanks, Riley. Good morning. Are you like me? Does art play a role in your life? Is drawing or painting like a friend to you? Art has always been there for me. As a woman and Native American, I feel like I've been through a lot of very difficult experiences, spiritually and emotionally. Creating art can address these issues in a very meaningful way. Today we'll discuss 4 ways art can help improve your state of mind. First of all, ADHD. For ADHD, some people think having an attention deficit hyperactivity disorder would prohibit someone from being able to settle down and focus enough to actually draw. But from my personal experience, I can tell you that art of the drawing or painting are precisely the activities needed to address problems with attention. When I'm feeling restless or anxious, I draw or doodle on the side of the paper to help me focus on the subject. Instead of being distracting, art serves to focus my thoughts. Next, art can make you feel good about yourself. For a lot of us, we don't always feel like ourselves until we're creating something artistic. When I'm creating, I feel unique and actually special in this one way. Art sends out a message about who you really are through the drawings. Art has always defined human nature and how groups of people lived and felt about their lives at the same time. Think about the ghost caves in Montana. Archaeologists found cave drawings dating back to the earliest times. These paintings are so interesting and bring up a lot of amazing questions about the people who made them. What are they about? What were they thinking? What message were they trying to send? At the end of the day, drawing and music or anything creative can help address whatever issues you may be going through. I know for me personally, art has always been like a friend who listens, doesn't judge, and can be like a teacher. I've seen things come to life in my art that I couldn't make out in my mind, that helped me through dark times in my life. Art helps you to express your feelings with image instead of words. Thank you for watching my segment.
Thanks, Val.
Back to you, Riley.
Well, that's all we have for this episode of Mythical Morning News. I want to say thank you for watching, and here's to hoping you have a mythical morning yourselves. My name is Riley, and I will see you again. Gigawabaman, Minowa.
Miigwech, Cam. Are you done? Miigwech, Cam. Some really good. I need to. Some really good. I just need to know where to transition to so I can start reading as I go. So some really good information there. So,